When I first started here, I had a picture in my mind of who would come through the doors of a food pantry, and it's changed quite a bit because it's a regular guy, a regular woman who come in here. It's not some poor guy homeless on the street that needs to be here. It's a guy who just lost his job, and he looks pretty good, or a woman who is just struck by the fact that like her husband is sick, her support system is fading in whatever other way, and she needs more help. So it's a different picture. It could be anybody. My role here at the Goodwill Church Food Pantry is as director. We coordinate about 6 or 8 volunteers here, and we pick up the food for the pantry. We open it on a weekly basis. We're open for 3.5 hours. We keep all the shelves stocked, supplied. We try and keep a decent amount of food here so that we can serve as many as we can on a weekly basis. We had a woman who came in. She said her son had told her, Mom, are we ever going to have dessert again? It's been a long time. So we did the best we could. We filled up a bag of whatever we had in dessert type foods for them, and made sure that they were served well that day, at least for a little while. And we see that kind of story all the time. The trend that we see is we're getting busier and busier. About 2010, we were serving about 2,000 people. Now we're serving well over 6,000 people. It's been busier and busier every single week as we come here, averaging 50, 60 families per session that we're here. We're only open 3.5 hours a week. We get what we can from the food bank, and if it doesn't supply a certain thing, well, then we don't get it. But certain times we have a lot of things that come from donations through the church, donations from the community, donations from local ShopRite and other stores like that. We've run some food drives, and sometimes we're flush and we have a lot of goods to offer, and sometimes it's just not so good. So we're always in need of more and more donations from other people. But it's a constant need, because if you're not on top of it, then the next week, well, the shelves aren't so full. And you might get a lot of people coming that week. You just don't know how many are going to come.
Before we can tackle the growing issues in education, income, and health, we know that it's of utmost importance that the everyday needs of our neighbors are met. That's why we partner with nonprofits to ensure men, women, and children have food in their stomachs, shoes on their feet, and a safe home for their families to thrive.